Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot, where today we're going to be talking about the tarot cards astrologically connected to the Cardinal Water sign of the Zodiac, Cancer, the beginning of summer, summer solstice, and all that beautiful energy that comes with the summer season. I don't know about you, but this is probably my favorite season of all. I do like spring a lot too, but summer's just got that warmth, and there's so much happiness just in the cards that we see right here. The major arcana card astrologically connected to Cancer is the Chariot, which you can see right here. This is the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the plastic waterproof version of it, which all the cards that I show you today, I will share a link in the description below where you can purchase these cards for yourself. But this is the card astrologically connected to it, major arcana, which goes between June 20th, 21st to about August 20th, 21st. Or July 20th, 21st, excuse me, sorry about that. And we have the Queen of Cups, who relates to the third decan of the previous season of Gemini, as well as the first two decans of Cancer. So we have that about June 10th to about July 10th. So you have that energy with that. And then the King of Wands will take up the next decan, and because it follows into Leo, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And then we have the first decan of Cancer over here with the Two of Cups, the second decan of Cancer with the Three of Cups, and the third Cancer or third decan of Cancer with the Four of Cups over here. Now, I am a little bit distracted today, and I do apologize for that. And if you hear any background noise that kind of sounds like a bee, I don't know how well it's coming through the video. But we have someone outside cutting the grass, like weed eating, and it's making a little bit of a distraction. But, you know, the show must go on, and I'm here to teach you a little bit. Maybe you can learn a little bit something from this video. Enjoy some pretty illustrations. I do have like 3 of each card here so to share with you. And all the information I'm sharing here is from a book. It's Tarot and Astrology by Corinne Kenner. And I will share a link in the description below as well to check out that book if that's something you're interested in doing. Now I'm going to set all of these cards aside, and we're going to get to one each at a time, and we'll just see the different illustrations, and we'll talk a little bit about each one. Chariot's up first. This Chariot is the major arcana card astrologically connected to Cancer, and these are 3 of my favorite illustrations of it. With the Rider-Waite-Smith here, we see he's very much in control, and the thing that's similar to each of these illustrations, although a few of them just show the vehicle that we're using, it's very much a card about taking control of your own life, being an individual and steering yourself to where you want to be. And we see that very much here as you've got the black and white little sphinxes down here, and the single man, you know, taking charge and driving himself to where he wants to be, overcoming the obstacles that stand in his way. The Chariot is number 7 of the major arcana, which very much relates it to the most of the energy of Cancer season, because it's the 7th month of the year of July. And if you think about it, like in kind of this way, you know, summer season is when we really want to take control, really drive ourselves to where we want to be. A really bad example of this, but one that I feel like really relates to it, is a lot of the Civil War. We all know what like the American Civil War was, you know, when we had slaves and stuff like that. So thankful that that's behind us. But that occurred right around this time of year, like that summer season, because, you know, it was warm, it was fresh, people could go do things like that, even if it was evil, it was about war and stuff like that. The fact that I'm trying to point here is that it's the perfect time to really take control, to take those actions and overcome the obstacles that stand in our way of success, because that number 7, you know, in the numerical sequence leads to the success and wealth of the 8. So we have that illustration, you know, the Chariot itself being driven, taking control of our lives, using our creative energy, you know, get the yellow there, the optimism, the creative energy, really taking control and driving ourselves to where we want to be. And that leads us over to the Everyday Witch Tarot, which is right here. And you can see the woman's here on her motorcycle. She doesn't have a helmet on, she has a witch's hat. There are states out there that allow you not to wear a hat, but it's in your best interest to always wear a helmet. I want to say hat, but it's a helmet, because, you know, if you fall off that and you crush your skull, you're probably not walking away from that. So wear a helmet, not necessarily a witch's hat, but point is, you know, she's taking control of her life. She's getting on that motorcycle. She's got her cat with her. Her cat has more intelligence than her, it seems, because he has the helmet on. But we have this way and that way, and that's the thing about the Chariot. Only you know which direction you want to go. You have to take that control, believe in yourself, and drive yourself to where you want to be. Rising over the obstacles, overcoming the obstacles that stand in your way, and really finding the clearing above the clouds that the Chariot in the Phantomwise Tarot represents. And that's the next illustration we have here. And I really love this deck. It's an absolutely beautiful illustration of the Chariot, and it's so simple with that black and white aesthetic. So this kind of reminds us, like, trust our minds, because, you know, it's got the air aesthetic to that, rising above it, the hot air balloon, you know, trusting your mind, trusting yourself, your gut, your heart, your intuition to really take control and drive yourself to where you want to be. Now, as we know, Cancer is the mother archetype of the Zodiac, so it's really having that compassion and stuff for others to help them get to where they want to be. But at the same time, we need to show that to ourselves, that same love and compassion and kindness, so that we can drive ourselves to where we want to be too. No one else is going to drive you to where you want to be, and the Chariot reminds us to take control, get behind the wheel, and drive ourselves to where we want to be, rising above the clouds and really trusting ourselves and not letting life overcome, like the obstacles of life overcome us when we get there. And then of course we have the Chariot over here. Many of you might recognize this illustration. It's from the Star Trek Next Generation Tarot. Now, I do have a little bit of a complaint about the Star Trek Next Generation Tarot, but we're not going to get into that here. We just have the illustration here of the USS Enterprise, led by Captain Jean-Luc Picard, and you have the illustration here of the ship, you know, the chariot they use to go all these different destinations and stuff. So that's a reminder, you know, to the illustration here would show reaching for the stars, not being afraid to go after something someone else might not believe in. Again, you are the one in the driver's seat, driving yourself to where you want to be. 7, like I said, is a number of overcoming obstacles in order to find the success of the 8 that you deserve. So, as this isn't really a reading necessarily, but it is just teaching you and showing you the different cards related to the astrological sign. There is a message here to take control, get behind the wheel. This is the perfect time to do so and really make your life what you want it to be. Next up, we have the Queen of Cups, which is the court card astrologically connected to Cancer. It's a very great card, I feel, relating to the sign, because this is the mother archetype. I feel the mother of the court, the kind, compassionate one that's very focused on their family's want, like their loved ones and their family's wants and needs. And you can see that in the illustration here with the Rider-Waite-Smith. You can see she's still connected to her own emotions, but she's very focused on what's in this cup right here, and that shows the kindness, compassion, empathy, and intuition that really the Queen of Cups represents, and having that compassion not only for the ones around her, but the compassion for herself as well. And then I've chosen the Dark Mansion Queen of Cups as well, because I feel she really embodies the beauty of this queen. And you can see she's focused on it as well too, but she's not as determined as it seems this queen is. As she looks towards that cup, she doesn't know the answers necessarily. The cup is closed, but she knows that her attention needs to be focused on this if she is to achieve what she wants to achieve. And then over here, you know, she's kind of looking at the cup, at the same time she's looking off in the distance too. So it's having that compassion not only for the ones that you love and for yourself as well, but for the ones you don't know as well either, and just wanting to make the world a better place for all. And I feel like that really embraces the energy of the Queen of Cups, who, as I mentioned earlier, rules over the first 2 decans of Cancer as well as the last decan of Gemini. So she's got about 4 weeks there, or 3 weeks there, of her energy like really being with us. We move next to the Dreamkeepers Tarot, and I feel like this really connects to the Queen of Cups too, because it's very simple and very subtle. Instead of a head though, you know, she's focused on her cup, she's focused on her cup. She has a head as a moon, and she's very much looking away from the cup in her hands, but this shows the intuitive energy that the queen really possesses. And this queen is considered the one most intuitive of the court cards, so this really is a message, you know, as we talked about the chariot, how to drive your chariot to where you want to be, trusting yourself and your intuition and your inner fire, and you set your sights and trust your mind and all that to drive yourself to where you want to be and find the success that you deserve. The Queen of Cups, connecting to that as well, says trust your intuition, have compassion for yourself, and really connect to the moon, connect to the waters around you, the emotional side of yourself as well, in order to achieve what you want to achieve. And connecting to the water, really connecting to that side of ourselves and the moon energy and our emotions, you know, really connects to this Guardians of the Night illustration of the Queen of Cups, which shows an orca, killer whale, going down into the bottom of the sea, and there's the cup as well, and shows just the connection to the earth and the emotional side of ourselves in nature that can really make our intuitions grow. I've chosen this illustration of the Queen of Cups, created by MJ Colonnade, because when it comes to motherly feelings, you know, those motherly advice and caring about our family, our loved ones, and our children and stuff like that. I feel like animals are really, really dedicated to that. Um, I've seen a couple videos now, and I mean, it's not necessarily a positive thing, but there is a positive way to look at this. At least I think there is. Orcas have now learned the ability of how to just like disrupt a ship, like take off part of their like their motors and stuff like that. I don't remember the exact word, but they knocked off propellers and stuff on boats, leaving them helpless and stuck out in the water. Now that is dangerous for humans for sure, but at the same time it shows the animals' willingness to defend what is theirs, to defend their worlds and not let people hurt them or harm them. They're actually fighting back. And I think that is wonderful personally, because it shows how compassionate they are for their own kind and their own family. So that orca, you know, they do get that bad rep. They do like to kill poor innocent seals for pleasure sometimes. I've heard that as well. But this kindness and compassion that mother animals have for their young, like that definitely relates to the Queen of Cups to me. It shows just what a kind and compassionate world that we have when we're really able to look at it and really to show others that we care. The Queen of Cups definitely reminds us to have compassion for others as well as have compassion for ourselves. And really, the people that we care about, make sure they're well taken care of. And we talked about with the Chariot, you know, helping our loved ones and helping others achieve their goals. But it's helping ourselves in achieving our goals as well. These two queens right here remind us to remain focused. This queen reminds us to trust our intuitions and, you know, believe in the universe to have our backs. And this one, the Shamu, yeah, I said Shamu, the Orca definitely says trust our intuitions, trust our emotions, dive deep within those and really decide what we want to do. We will go ahead and talk about the other court card astrologically connected to Cancer, the third deacon to be exact, as well as the first two deacons of Leo, and that is the King of Wands. So once you have that compassion for yourself, that inner Queen of Cups, really trusting your intuition and believing you have what it takes, having compassion and trusting your intuition to achieve your goals, you can really focus on achieving what lights your inner fire and really leading in life with what lights your inner fire. And that's what the card, the Rider-Waite-Smith really suggests. You've got that creative energy we saw with the Chariot there with the yellow. And the orange of his robes kind of shows that passion and fire and enthusiasm it takes to really lead in life doing what you're really passionate about. And he's even got the green up here around his neck, which relates to the earthly energy, showing he's fixated and focused on what he wants to achieve, grounded enough in order to make his dreams a reality and really lead in life, letting his inner fire lead his way. The King of Wands from the Healing Light Tarot created by Christopher Butler shows that fiery energy, and you've got the lions down here as well, really the pride of the pact, and mostly connected to Leo, the King of Wands is, and we'll talk more about him when we get to the tarot and astrology cards of Leo next month. But for now, we'll just talk about how passionate he is and how that fire can really ignite our passions and really help us to lead lives that we're lighter inner fires that we're really enthusiastic for and want to wake up every day and greet the day. The pride and the power of this card kind of follows into the Crow Tarot, also created by M.J. Cullinane, the one we met with the Guardians of the Night. And it shows that Crow really leading and not being afraid to face their fears. There is a strength energy to this card, I feel. And when we think of strength, you know, the Rider-Waite-Smith illustration of that card, the woman standing there and she's got the mouth held open of the lion. And this kind of embraces that. And strength, you know, is astrologically connected to Leo. So we have that energy here, you know, facing your fears, really trusting yourself and letting that inner fire lead your way. Again, I have an animal right here, and it reminds us that there are animalistic tendencies inside of us. You know, there's a little bit of passion and crazy there that we might not be able to explain, but it's embracing that inner fire, embracing that inner animal that can help us lead lives that we're truly passionate about. And then we have the United States of Tarot over here, and it's got Bill Clinton over, like, sitting here on his throne in front of the White House. It was one of the more fun presidents of the United States history. I think I was in maybe 6th grade or so when he was really president. But my only complaint about this illustration, because he's one of the more passionate, I feel, one of the more passionate presidents that we've had. But one thing that I always thought was really cool about him, and why I wanted to choose him, despite the fact that it's not illustrated here and not shown here, is his obsession, maybe not obsession, but his enthusiasm for playing the saxophone. And it's when you're focused on, like, your passion, be it a saxophone like Bill Clinton, be it finding trinkets, like sparkly trinkets and stuff like a crow, or whatever your inner passion is, whatever your inner fire is. The King of Wands tells us that we have what it takes to go after it. Just let that inner fire, the one that we see right here, just burn within us so we can achieve our goals and really lead lives that we're truly passionate about. As I said, this is the third decan of Cancer, so there is like, you know, not as much energy per se as the Queen of Cups, but we still have that energy. And with it being summer, our passions are really, we're able to focus on them more, I feel. If your passion is going skiing or snowboarding, yeah, that's not exactly something you can do in the middle of summer, but there's so much just life around, so many things to inspire us and fill us with excitement and joy. And it's really these cards, like these leaders of the court. We have the Queen, we have the King. It's just to take control, trust yourself, trust your intuition, and let your inner fire lead your way forward. Now we begin the decans of Cancer season, you know, the 2, 3, and 4 of Cups. You have the first decan, which is the one we see here with the 2 of Cups, about June 21st to about June 30th. So at the time of making this video, it's very much the time of the season, but, you know, it changes very easily. Before we know it, we'll hit the second decan, then the third decan, and start with Leo. But anyway, we have the 2 of Cups right here from the Rider-Waite-Smith, and it's the card of emotional connections. Usually, people think of this as a card of a romantic connection, which can be seen right here with this card. But it can be a connection, like an emotionally satisfying connection that's like a business connection or something like that as well. It's someone that you feel you can toast your cup with, someone that just gets the same goals and ideas with you, that fills your heart up with joy. Now that might be a romantic connection, like I said, or it might be someone that has the same goal. Maybe when we talked about the King of Wands, the same passion that really can help us lead a life that we're passionate about. It's really connecting with that other soul, connecting with that other person, and believing we have what it takes to succeed when we work together. Be it in love, be it in work and business, be it in whatever. It's the emotional connections that really make life worth living. We have this card right here as well, that one of my favorite illustrations of the 2 of Cups, which is from the Shadowland Tarot by Monica Berdinsky. I apologize if I pronounce the name incorrectly. But you can see the 2 little characters here, you know, toasting their cups. They've got their cups right there of their little mixed drinks, and they're kissing right here with their little noses. Now, there used to be, I believe it was a TV show, it might have been a book. I get them confused sometimes because, you know, the same, like, images go on my head, even from the stories that don't even have pictures. But there definitely was pictures in this book or this story. And there were these characters, this TV show, I think, that was called the Snorks. And that's what this illustration really reminds me of those characters that lived underwater and, like, lived these magical worlds. And, you know, they were connected to their emotions, and they had, like, this loving relationship like the characters here do. So that kind of reminds me of that TV show when I was a kid, the Snorks. But I love this illustration of it, and it shows that loving energy when we think of a romantic connection that just emotionally fulfills us. The 2 of Cups we have here is from the Grateful Dead Tarot, and we have the 2 right there, and instead of cups, it's actually roses. And you have the illustration here, which has the snake little symbol, the healthcare symbol that we have over here with the Rider-Waite-Smith. And this illustration kind of shows opposites coming together and really sharing their wisdom and compassion with each other. The fact that they fill each other up with happiness and joy, and really taking what they have worked together in order to achieve their goals. So I feel like this shows the more business standpoint of the 2 of Cups, whereas this one shows the romantic side of the 2 of Cups. And it really just shows those 2 souls coming together in order to create one way forward. And when you're able to find that person that you're emotionally connected to, then life becomes a little bit more easy and a little bit more enjoyable, and shows the power we have when we work together. We're fully capable of whatever we set our minds to on our own, but things just become more fun and enjoyable when we have it to work with each other. And the final card I have for the 2 of Cups is the 2 of Cups from the Zombie Tarot. And what I really like about this illustration is the 2 different dinner plates we have here. This character, we can only see the hands and we can only see the dinners. This character here very much likes their meat. They like their vegetables and everything like that. Meat and potatoes. We've got the peas over there. And then over here, the zombie has his brain. So that shows opposites attract. It kind of has that energy. And shows, like, it doesn't matter, you know, if we have our differences. As long as we feel like one another can fill our cups up, if it feels right to us, then it's right for us. And this kind of says respect each other's differences, bring what we have to offer to the table, you know, so we can really connect our energy, even if it's opposites, like we see right here with these 2. We can still find a loving relationship with someone. be it about romantic relationship or that business relationship that we talked about, someone that just has the same hopes and dreams that we do. And that brings us to the second decan of Cancer season, which occurs about July 1st to about July 10th, and that is the Three of Cups. And I have chosen my 3 favorite illustrations of the Three of Cups because I think these 3 cards, as weird as they look, because we have all kinds of fun going on here, just as we do in this card, as much as they're strange and weird, they really embrace that energy of having fun and celebrating with the ones that we can toast our cups to and just enjoying each other's times together. The Rider-Waite-Smith, while it is the calmest picture we have here, had a little distraction there, but we'll get right back to it. The Three of Cups that we see here with the Rider-Waite-Smith, a lot calmer than the 3 illustrations we see here, but it still is very much in common with them. We can see this is the card of celebrating a successful harvest. We have the fruits and vegetables all over, the pumpkins here and everything like that. So it does relate more to the end of summer more than the beginning of summer that we have with the Cancer season, but it definitely shows that having fun, being merry, and finding those ones that we just connect with, that fill our hearts with joy and we feel like we can be ourselves and comfortable with. The illustration we see here of the Three of Cups kind of shows them doing that same thing, like maybe a little bit more to the extreme than we have in this illustration, which just shows being ourselves, being true to who we are, and really just having fun with our friends. And that's the energy of the Three of Cups that I love so much about it. It's just finding those ones we click with. Maybe like the people that we met with the Two of Cups, finding that one that just fills our hearts up with joy that we emotionally connect with, and just being able to be ourselves with it. With that energy of the 3, it has that creativity and creation itself kind of energy as well. So it has that, when we find the ones that we connect with, find the ones that we can just be true to who we are, it definitely suggests that like we can maybe be able to create something together, really using that energy, that happiness and joy that fills us up to come up with a creative way to move forward. And the illustration we have here, both of these actually are from the mind of Patrick of Valencia. I've told you before, his artistry, his illustrations are my favorite. He's my favorite artist of all time. I have multiple videos of his decks. I use these decks all the time. I love, love, love these illustrations. And the illustration that we have here, you can see these people are not necessarily in a great position, but they don't care. They have each other. They're just enjoying their time together, being weird, being carefree, just being fun, because they trust the people they're around. It's like their soul family, the ones that just fill their cups up and they enjoy it, and they don't care what anybody else thinks. Finding those ones that just seem to understand us, that just have this emotional connection to us, that just makes life more enjoyable. They're really the ones that like just make life better. And when we work together and we have those people, life is just more enjoyable altogether. And we have the illustration over here. This is the Trionfi Della Luna Illustrated Pips edition, and it's definitely the weirdest of the 3, I think. I mean, these are in the mouth of a very dangerous fish. They don't care. They're still smiling. They're still happy. This one's floating in a martini glass, and they're all just drinking and enjoying themselves. Here, they're like dancing around, having fun, celebrating their accomplishments. Here, they're doing the same thing. They look a little bit tipsy. They look a little bit weird. And this one clearly has fire coming out of her butt, which kind of suggests to me that, she might have some gas going on. She might be a little bit loud. She might be a little bit stinky, but her friends don't care. And the people that we find that can, like, laugh at our jokes and laugh at our farts, for lack of a better word, like, those ones that we can just, no matter what's going on with life, the ones that just make life better. And that's the energy of the Three of Cups. Like I said, it's connected to the second decan of Cancer, so it's July 1st to July 10th. And if you're an American, July 4th is our big day of celebration. It's our day of independence, and that definitely speaks of these cards right here, celebrating the connection that we have as Americans, of that freedom and that just being able to light fireworks and just enjoy one another's time together. And that's really the energy of the Three of Cups and why this is such a fun and exciting card. And I definitely chose the illustrations here that I feel like really embrace that. Just getting out, having fun with your girlfriends, having fun with your boyfriends, having fun with each other. Even if life sucks sometimes and you feel like it's dangerous and you're stressed out, spending time with those people that just let you let it all out and just enjoy yourself. That's what makes life worth living. And lastly, but certainly not least, we have the Four of Cups, which is a card that I call the boredom card of the tarot, and is most likely my least favorite card of the tarot, because in life, if you're bored, there's so much you can do, so much you can experience, so much you can just spend your time doing these days that you don't have to have those feelings of bored. When you are feeling bored, though, like the illustrations show here, in all 4 of these illustrations, you don't see all that life has to offer. Like with the Rider-Waite-Smith here, you know, beautiful day, the sun is shining, the sky is blue, we have the trees full of leaves, you know, nature's just very fulfilling. And he doesn't even seem to notice. He's staring down at all these cups, you know, that have nothing left to offer him. And this cup over here, you can see a little cloud emitting the cup, which kind of relates back to the Ace of Cups of the suit, showing if you're so focused on that boredom and feelings of boredom and not seeing what life has to offer, then you're going to miss out on so much. And that illustration kind of follows over here with the Light Seers Tarot created by Chris Ann. And it shows like the hand coming out over here, showing the rainbow that comes down into the bowl right here. But all these bowls have nothing else to offer, so the girl in the illustration is probably thinking, life doesn't have anything else to offer. I'm not interested in anything. And again, she's missing the magic that's over here. So it's, with the boredom card, it's not, that's why it's my least favorite, because it's like you're so uninterested in all that life has to offer. You're so bored, you don't even notice what all that life has to offer, all the enjoyments that can fill your cup up with joy. This is the 4 of the suit of emotional happiness and emotional fulfillment, so it relates to a strong foundation. And I always like to point out, in order to feel bored in life, we have to feel comfortable and safe in our strong foundations. If we didn't feel safe and comfortable, then we wouldn't be able to feel bored. At least I don't think we would. So the 4 of Cups over here with the Spirit Within Tarot, we have the character there. He's already drank 3. Another guy's coming over, the silhouettes of them, and he's got this cup to offer. But the guy doesn't seem interested in that anymore. And if we do think about this illustration necessarily, and like that drinking that we talked about, the 3 of Cups, like just being out and celebrating, if we do that so often, then we are going to get bored with like everyday life and stuff, because we're going to expect those things in order to fill our cups up. And if we're using like drugs and alcohol to fill our cups, then we're not really enjoying all that life has to offer or achieving our goals. And that brings us to the Starman Tarot from David DeAngelis, the creator behind all of most of, if not all, of David Bowie's artwork. And I love this illustration because it really takes that we're missing out and not seeing all that life has to offer. It really embraces that energy and shows everything that life really has to offer. There's Jesus up here. He's got his heart. He's showing the love that can be in life that we talked about with the 2 of Cups, finding that connection with others. And we have the connections over here. We've got different characters over here, the people that we can connect with and toast our cups to. The hand here showing the action we can take. I'm going to say this is a heart, and it shows the fire that can be in our hearts to really take action on our goals that we spoke about with the King of Wands. And like I said, the King of Wands is the 3rd decan of Cancer. So this 4 of Cups relates to that King of Wands as well. And not getting so fixated and focused and stubborn about the just not having that much to light our inner fires, and seeing what does. Don't let boredom keep you from achieving your goals, and don't let boredom keep you from seeing all that remains. You can take action on any of your dreams, the things that light your inner fire. Use your inner magic. I do think this is a witch hat. So using your inner magic and really showing the world what you're capable of, always leading with love and compassion in your heart, which is what the Queen of Cups that began the Deacons of Cancer and began Cancer season reminded us of. If we are able to feel bored in life, we are able to take control and find something to fill our cups up with joy. So as we move through Cancer season and move on to Leo season and really have this beautiful energy of summer, you know, able to create anything, get out in nature, really spend time in it, go to a lake, go swimming, stuff like that. Those are always my favorite things to do in the summer. This is, don't let boredom get in your way. Have compassion for yourself. Really trust yourself and find what fills your cup up with joy, because now is the time to do that, to take control, to really lead. Trust your inner intuition to lead you to where you want to be, and focus on those goals you want to set for yourself. At the making of this video, you know, we're already halfway through the year of 2023, and the rest of the half, it's up to us to choose what we want to do with it and what we want to create. So find those ones that fill your cup up with joy. Don't get bored with life, and really trust yourself and make your life what you want it to be. So we must never forget that we are the ones behind the wheels of our chariots, creating the lives that we truly want to live. As long as we stay focused and trust our intuitions to lead us where we want to be, not letting our emotions get the best of us, really letting our inner fires lead our way forward, we can find the ones that we can toast our cups up, those emotionally fulfilling connections that make our lives worth living. Celebrate those connections. and really feel strong, a strong foundation in our lives that we can feel comfortable and safe with, that every day can be a new opportunity to really do something new. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.